Sonia Morgan, in my opinion, will always be a superstar reality TV personality, along with LUANN. LUANN, and you do got to put Bethany in there. Bethany, I would never put as a overrated. Bethany, in my opinion, is somebody who specifically took the genre to a whole nother level, not just the business acumen, but the concept of like when she ran her specific spin-off shows, which was the Bethany Getting Married and Bethany Ever After, really in my mind, based on where reality TV was at the time, the Jersey Shore was big, the Real World was kind of coming out, wasn't as popular. Your Survivors, your Amazing Races, your Big Brothers were wonderful and they were booming, but those were reality TV competition shows like The Voice, like American Idol, stuff of that nature. And everyone, yes, you had your reality TV competition series that did launch the careers of a Carrie Underwood, a Kelly Clarkson, a Fantasia Barrino, yes, but those were all people that were artists that were aspiring to do that. Bethany Frankel, in my opinion, was one of the first people who took reality TV based on coming from Martha Stewart's show, and then transitioning into just jumping off the page and becoming so amazing on the Real Housewives of New York, and like business acumen, getting all the publicity and the press opportunities and almost just like the new social cachet that she earned by being on the show and making a lot of money and going from this, struggling, so to speak. I always feel like she had a little more leverage than what the show gave, but nonetheless going from this to this, and that's fun to watch as viewers. And she was the queen of the one-liners. Anyways, I was just going to say Bethany, a honorable mention, but I want to say LUANN, when you watch LUANN in the early seasons and her uptightness, I relate to an uptight, not pretentious, but an uptight cast member each and every time. I loved LUANN at the beginning. The season Real Housewives of New York, of the very early seasons when LUANN did not come back in a full-time capacity, it was missed. She was missed. And I think that every opportunity that LUANN does reality TV, or her cabaret, money can't buy me class, elegance is learned, anything she does is fun. Do you remember when they made fun of her because she had a performance, and it was in Florida, she had a performance and they made fun of her because she wanted to take a picture of herself behind a marquee that she's going to be performing there tonight. First of all, that's marketing and promotions. And second of all, we can't laugh at people who go for theirs. You know what I mean? Now, is she the greatest talent? Yeah, no, she's fun. But I think like in terms of that marketing and the way they all made fun of her, I think Bethany particularly made fun of her. Like, how silly. Why would she be, going to her cabaret theater and showcasing, I'm performing here tonight? How lame that is. And mind you, I'm somebody who kind of struggles with the other side of that. I need to sometimes, showcase and show up and market and promote myself, even more. Even the regards of like Bravo TV, Watch What Happens Live. I've made several appearances, talking with Candy, talking with Aaron, Reba McEntire, taking a shot with Reba McEntire, as a call-in for Watch What Happens Live. Troye Sivan, Zachary Quinto, Brooklyn, who is David Beckham and Posh Spice's son. Like, I've done a lot of really fun things, but much like the commentary from Bethany, oh, why would you promote that? Why would you do that? Lou's doing the other thing. Lou's like, this is what I'm doing. I got a show. Let me show up. Let me show up for myself. Let me be excited. Let me be proud. And I think like I do the opposite. I get real quiet and I'm like, let the work speak for itself. And so while I didn't love what Bethany was saying, I'm somebody who kind of lives it a little more calm, and I want to be humble. And yes, I've worked in this business for, radio and broadcast and television for 15 years, but that's all cool and everything. And I'm more that. That is who I am. I want to continuously be the guy who's let the work speak for itself. But when I see LUANN as a reality TV personality, the reason I like her is because, yes, she does go for her. She shows up big for herself, and I don't think it's anything to be made fun of. And specifically, the thing about LUANN that makes her such a great reality TV star also is the many kind of like the 9 lives we've seen with Lou, from, very uptight and, carrying the COUNTESS, thing with her, and then being, drunk and going through embarrassment, both with marriage, both legally. She's just somebody you always want to see rebound. And I think when you make a really great reality personality in terms of casting or the network, they need somebody who's always going to have a story and tell a story. Have a story and tell a story. So LUANN is great. Now we got to talk about the great Kenya Moore. Kenya Moore will always be the most important thing from the Real Housewives of Atlanta. Kenya Moore on another level. Whether she does Real Housewives of Atlanta, whether she leaves Real Housewives of Atlanta, where she comes back and gets a spinoff, whether she goes to do another TV show, she is. I was born in the 80s, so I was growing up in the 90s, and yes, Kenya Moore was specifically and significantly that girl. She really was.
Hey, Ronnie Jr.